where are the fireworks? Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good to see all of you.
Good to see you.
Flow and go. It's all based upon the realization that energy flows, and flows where attention goes. What you focus on grows. You might look at it from the perspective of we're talking the same thing from different views, because your attention is an energy. And when you direct your attentive energy upon a given subject, seen or unseen, it's going to affect it. It's going to activate it. It's going to stimulate it. It's going to cause it to have some type of response to you. Okay. So are we in agreement so far?
Yes.
Or is this not in your realm of experience? Just checking. I wanted to make sure. Well, you know, sometimes I come out here and I wonder if I'm on the same planet. Did I wake up on Pluto? Okay, so whatever the name of the planet is, we're on the same one right now. All right, so let's just look at some different considerations of how we can and do apply this. One of the first things is give attention to when you are in meditation. Because you're focusing your awareness, and you're focusing it, generally speaking, on you. Some aspect of you, that this is then an inward focus. Well, if you focus inward, then you're going to probably start discovering some things that are there. Even with your limited 30-second attention span, you'll still bounce back to it enough to say, wait a minute, I just saw that about myself. So this is a good realization so far as direction and what is the result of the direction of your attention, because you're going to have a flow with how you go with it. Same thing is true with prayer. But prayer is a little different. I've heard many different kinds of prayers being involved in many different kinds of churches. Oh God, please save me. Well, of course, that's putting it outside of yourself, giving your power to something else with the hope, the wish, perhaps even the faith that the result will be. But if you look again at an evolving type of prayer, you're going to see that it has the possibility for affirming some reality. So that where your attention is going with that energy of affirmation, then there's going to be some kind of mysterious power that comes into play that can answer your prayer. Now, this is just prayer by yourself. And I know that often that's what we do, is we are alone, we feel the need to connect with some other power, and we make that connection through prayer. Okay, same is true with another aspect, and that's working out. And I'm talking about physical exercise here. Because, believe it or not, your physical body is an amazing combination of energies. Just doing a simple pull-up requires so much coordination with the body that the energy of your attention focused on your body is going to bring you to a much greater body awareness. Same thing is true with yoga. So we talked a few things about individual application. What about group application? What about standing in a circle and talking? Native Americans had an approach with this, and that was they would all gather in a circle and they would have a stick. And when the stick came to you, that was your opportunity to express yourself with whatever it was that you felt was relevant to you and to the group. So that in this type of connection, everyone was focusing on self and others, to where the combination then resulted in some type of potential agreement or direction that would then be taken. And the same is true as at a table. I didn't used to have this awareness as a kid, but as I have grown, I've come to appreciate sitting with others at a table and sharing in a meal, sharing in conversation, to where you get more of a group awareness that can go in a number of directions depending upon what comes up in the talk. Then you go and take this to, let's go out and get involved in some kind of group activity where you have hundreds, perhaps thousands of people. A concert, some kind of rally, even a political rally. Did I say that? These are all examples, you see, where you have this energy that is being generated by hundreds and thousands of people. And because it is being generated by so many, it then acts upon itself and becomes like an entity that then has this power of expression to where you can feel it. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people like to go to concerts. They like to feel the energy that's being built up by the music, as well as everybody else is generating this type of positivity. So, these are just some considerations, but the key thing here is I'm bringing it to your attention so that you become more present with yourself so far as what are you focusing on? Because it makes a difference. I often encounter people when they come to me to seek out a solution that they really want to talk about their problem. That they're not really so much consciously wanting solution as they are unconsciously wanting to experience themselves expressing their identity. And their identity happens to be with problem. But if ever that can have some type of break in it, some kind of shift in it, some kind of change in it, then the person can become more aware of what am I focusing on here? I say I want this and yet I'm doing that. There's not a match here. If you want that, then you have to do something that is a match for it in order for that energy to have the conduit open, the channel breezy, to where it can then move with ease. In this way, take a look at your program insert if you haven't, before the day is over. And look, it's talking about different forms of uncertainty. But let's see what it comes from. Uncertainty comes from the realization that there's so much more that we don't know than what we do know. If we can take this concept of flow and go and allow ourselves to hook up with the universal flow of life, then we can begin to develop capacities of trust, of acceptance, of peace, and of ease that will then allow us to meet with and interact with life from a basis of knowing all is well and is working together for good, and that becomes our conscious focus, our attention that we put into operation as we live our lives moment by moment. Because this is the moment and the only moment we have. I know all of you are counting on at least a few more moments. Me too, at least up until and through the next offertory. And maybe even into messages. But either way, either here or there, I'll get you. And this is one of the things that most of us just don't allow to be a part of our conscious realization. That this life is not a permanent experience. It is by design limited. But the design is not faulty. And it is not working against us. It is working in favor of us. But we need to have that conscious capacity to be accepting with what is, so that that can be our attention connection to life itself. So many things have come about today where you can see, all right, I can have this be manifest oriented to where I will be doing certain things to get certain results, and the manifestations will confirm to me if my attention is in the flow the way that I want it to be to get what I want to get. Or I can allow myself to relax. I can take my hands off the steering wheel. I can let go of having to be in control all of the time and realize that truly life is a mystery. But the mystery in no wise is something designed to my detriment. If I can open up, if I can be at ease, then I start getting the feedback, the flow that comes to me, that confirms to me, yes, it's all right to relax. Life is for you. Live it and enjoy it. Go with the flow. Thank you.
For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.